Today, I'm going to show you 6 simple steps that can help reduce the size of your prostate naturally, without surgery, without heavy medications, without complications. These steps are based on real science, tested for decades on men just like you. And best of all, you can start today, right in your own home. Stay with me until the end, because step number 5 is what most men ignore, and it's exactly what makes the difference between continuing to suffer or finally sleeping through the night again. Before we talk about the 6 steps, you need to understand something. An enlarged prostate is not your fault. It's not because you did something wrong. It's part of male aging. As you get older, your body's hormones change. Testosterone decreases, but a hormone called DHT, which is derived from testosterone, builds up in the prostate. This DHT makes prostate cells grow. It's like someone pouring fertilizer on a plant. It grows and grows, and it starts squeezing the urethra, that thin tube where urine passes through. That's why you feel that pressure. That's why you need to go to the bathroom all the time, but when you get there, little comes out. That's why you wake up in the middle of the night, tired, irritated, afraid that this will never get better. And I understand that fear. I see men every day who come to my office embarrassed, worried, thinking they're going to need surgery. But the truth is that in most cases, especially if you act early, you can reverse or at least control this growth, and that's exactly what these 6 steps do. Now let me be clear. If you have severe pain, blood in your urine, or can't urinate at all, you need to see a doctor immediately. This could be an emergency. But if your problem is waking up multiple times, feeling like you didn't empty completely, weak stream, urgency to go to the bathroom, then these steps were made for you. And most importantly, the sooner you start, the better. Because an enlarged prostate is progressive. If you do nothing, it will keep growing. But if you act now, you can slow it down, stop it, and even reverse part of that growth. The first step is the simplest, but also the most ignored. Stop consuming caffeine after 3 in the afternoon. I know, you love your coffee. You have it after lunch, in the middle of the afternoon, after dinner. But caffeine is a direct irritant to the bladder and prostate. It stimulates urine production and worsens that feeling of urgency. And worse, caffeine's effects last for hours. If you drink coffee at 6 in the evening, at 11 at night, there's still caffeine in your system, irritating your bladder, making you wake up. And it's not just coffee. Black tea, green tea, sodas, energy drinks, chocolate, all of these have caffeine. You don't need to cut everything at once. Start slowly. Replace your afternoon coffee with a decaf version. Switch black tea for herbal tea, like chamomile or peppermint, and see what happens. Many men tell me that with just this change, they can reduce from 4 bathroom trips at night to 2. It seems small, but when you're desperate for a full night's sleep, 2 times less makes all the difference. Also, avoid excess liquids 2 hours before bed. You don't want to get dehydrated, but you also don't need to drink a giant glass of water at 10 at night. Drink water throughout the day. Stay hydrated, but taper off as evening comes. Your body will thank you, your bladder will thank you, and you'll finally rest. The second step is to increase your zinc intake. Zinc is an essential mineral for prostate health, and most men over 60 don't get enough. Zinc helps regulate DHT levels, that hormone I mentioned earlier that makes the prostate grow. When you have enough zinc in your body, it acts like a natural brake on prostate growth. But how do you get more zinc? Simple. Eat foods rich in this mineral. Pumpkin seeds are champions. A small portion per day makes a difference. Nuts, especially Brazil nuts, are also rich in zinc. Lean red meat, chicken, fish like salmon and sardines all have zinc. Oysters are the richest of all, but I know not everyone likes them or has access. The important thing is to include at least 1 good source of zinc per day in your diet. And if you can't eat these foods regularly, consider a zinc supplement. Recommended dose is between 15 and 30 milligrams per day. Don't overdo it, because excess zinc can cause other problems, like interfering with copper absorption. But at the right dose, zinc is one of the most powerful allies you have against an enlarged prostate. Here's something most people don't know. Zinc also improves sperm quality, strengthens the immune system, and helps with wound healing. So you're not just taking care of your prostate, you're taking care of your whole body. And that's what I call a double win. The third step is something most men have never heard of, but that makes a huge difference. Pelvic floor exercises, also called Kegel exercises. Yes, Kegels aren't just for women. Men also have pelvic muscles, and when these muscles are strong, they help control the bladder better, improve urinary flow, and even reduce pressure on the prostate. How do you do it? It's simple. Imagine you're urinating and want to stop the stream midway. That muscle you contract to hold the urine, that's your pelvic floor muscle. Now contract that muscle for 5 seconds, then relax for 5 seconds. Repeat 10 times. Do this 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. You can do it sitting, standing, lying down, nobody will notice. At first, it might be difficult. You might not feel the muscle right, or you might get tired quickly. But over time, this muscle gets stronger, and you'll notice the difference. Less leakage, less urgency, stronger stream, more control. And the best part, it's free, doesn't require equipment, doesn't require a gym. You do it at home, in traffic, watching TV. I've seen men who did these exercises for just 3 weeks and reported significant improvement. But the key is consistency. It's no use doing it once and giving up. Treat this like brushing your teeth. It's part of the routine. Do it every day, and results appear. The fourth step is to add omega-3 to your diet. Omega-3 is a good fat, anti-inflammatory, that reduces inflammation in the prostate and helps improve blood flow. When the prostate is swollen and inflamed, it presses even harder on the urethra. Reducing inflammation means relieving that pressure. The best sources of omega-3 are fatty fish, salmon, sardines, tuna, mackerel. Try to eat at least 2 servings per week. If you don't like fish or don't have access, ground flax seeds and walnuts also have omega-3, although in smaller amounts. And of course, you can take fish oil supplements. Look for one that has at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA. Here's an important detail. Avoid bad fats. Trans fats, fried foods, ultra-processed foods, all of this increases inflammation throughout the body, including the prostate. So at the same time you're adding omega-3, you need to cut bad fats. Less fast food, less chips, less packaged cakes. It seems obvious, but it's surprising how many men keep eating these things every day and then wonder why their prostate doesn't improve. Plus, omega-3 is good for your heart, your brain, your skin. You're taking care of everything at once. And when you take care of the body as a whole, the prostate responds. Because it doesn't exist in isolation. It's part of a system, and when you improve the system, it improves too. Now comes step number 5, and this is what most men completely ignore: reduce chronic stress. I know you're thinking, but what does stress have to do with the prostate? Everything, absolutely everything. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Excess cortisol messes up hormonal balance, increases inflammation, and worsens all urinary symptoms. You become tenser, your pelvic muscles contract, and the feeling of urgency gets worse. But there's more. Chronic stress also interferes with sleep, and poor sleep worsens prostate symptoms. It's a vicious cycle. You don't sleep well because you wake up to urinate, and you wake up more times because you're stressed. And the longer this continues, the worse it gets. So how do you break this cycle? Start with simple relaxation techniques. Deep breathing, 5 minutes a day. Breathe in slowly, counting to 4. Hold for 4. Exhale, counting to 4. Do this in the morning and before bed. It seems simple, but it works. You're literally turning off your body's stress system. Another thing, walk. You don't need to run marathons. You don't need to go to the gym. Walk 15-20 minutes a day. It can be around the block, it can be in the park, it can be inside your house. Physical movement reduces cortisol, improves circulation, and helps empty the bladder more completely. And when you walk, you're also strengthening the muscles around the prostate. And if you can, set aside time to do something you enjoy. Reading, listening to music, talking to a friend, fishing, anything that takes you out of the stressful routine. Because stress isn't just about work. Stress is about living on autopilot, without breaks, without pleasure. And when you give your body a break, it regenerates. And the prostate directly benefits from this. I know it seems strange to talk about stress in a video about the prostate, but I swear to you, this is the step that separates men who improve from those who continue suffering. Because you can do everything right with diet, take all the supplements. But if you're living in constant stress, nothing will work properly. The sixth and final step is to add turmeric to your routine. Turmeric, also known as curcuma, is a yellow spice used for millennia in traditional medicine, and modern science has confirmed it's one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories that exist. The active ingredient in turmeric is curcumin, and it has the ability to reduce inflammation in the prostate, improve urinary flow, and even inhibit the growth of prostatic cells. How to use it? You can add turmeric to food. Put a teaspoon in rice, beans, soup, chicken. It has a mild flavor and goes with almost everything. But the problem is that curcumin alone isn't well absorbed by the body. So here's the trick. Always combine turmeric with black pepper. Piperine, which is the active compound in pepper, increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Yes, you read that right. 2,000%. So whenever you use turmeric, add a pinch of pepper. Another option is to take turmeric supplements. Look for one that has standardized curcumin and that already comes combined with piperine or with some type of fat, because curcumin is fat-soluble, meaning it needs fat to be absorbed. Recommended dose is between 500 and 1,000 milligrams per day. And a warning, turmeric can interfere with blood thinners, so if you're taking medication to thin your blood, talk to your doctor first. But for most men, turmeric is safe, effective, and has benefits that go far beyond the prostate. It's good for joints, for the brain, for the immune system. It's one of those foods everyone should consume, especially after 50. Let's quickly recap the 6 steps, because I want you to leave here knowing exactly what to do. Step 1. Cut caffeine after 3 in the afternoon and reduce liquids at night. Step 2. Increase zinc intake through food or supplements. Step 3. Do Kegel exercises, strengthening the pelvic floor. Step 4. Add omega-3 and cut bad fats. Step 5. Reduce chronic stress with breathing, walking, and moments of pleasure. Step 6. Use turmeric daily, combined with black pepper. These 6 steps together form a complete system. You're not supposed to do just one and expect a miracle. You're supposed to do them all, every day, with consistency. And in 2 to 4 weeks, you'll start to notice a difference. Fewer bathroom trips at night, stronger stream, less urgency, more control. And in 2 to 3 months, the improvement can be dramatic. But I need to be honest with you. This isn't a magic cure. An enlarged prostate is a chronic condition. These steps will help you control it, reduce it, improve your quality of life. But you need to maintain it. If you go back to old habits, symptoms return. And if symptoms worsen, if you have pain, blood, fever, total inability to urinate, you need to seek medical help immediately. These steps don't replace medical treatment when necessary. They're complementary, they're preventive, they're natural, but they have limits. Now I want to tell you something important. I know you're scared. I know you're afraid of surgery, afraid of medications, afraid of losing control over your own body, and I understand that fear. But here's the truth. You have more power over your health than you think. You're not a victim of your body. You can act. You can make choices every day that will improve your condition. These 6 steps I showed you aren't complicated. They don't require expensive equipment. They don't require hours of dedication. They require commitment. They require you to decide that your health is worth it, that it's worth switching afternoon coffee for a decaf version, that it's worth eating a portion of pumpkin seeds, that it's worth doing 5 minutes of pelvic exercise, that it's worth walking a little every day. And when you start to see results, when you finally sleep through the night, when you go to the bathroom and feel like you actually emptied, when you don't have to plan your life around where the nearest bathroom is, you'll realize it was worth every effort. And you'll feel in control again. And that feeling of control, that autonomy, that's as important as the physical improvement, because you're not just treating an enlarged prostate. You're recovering your dignity, your confidence, your freedom. And I want you to know, you're not alone in this. Millions of men go through the same thing, and many of them improved with these same steps. You can be next. Before we wrap up, I need to warn you about a common mistake many men make. They do everything right for 2 weeks, don't see miraculous results, and quit. Don't do that. Your body isn't a machine. It needs time to adjust, to heal, to regenerate. 2-3 months is a realistic time frame to see significant changes. And even if improvement is gradual, every small victory counts. Sleeping 15 more minutes without waking up is a victory. Urinating with a little more force is a victory. Feeling less urgency is a victory. Another common mistake: trying to do everything at once, getting overwhelmed, and quitting. You don't need to be perfect. Start with 2 or 3 steps. Master them, then add the others. The important thing is to start. Imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. If you can only cut caffeine and do Kegel exercises, that's a start. And a start already puts you ahead of 90% of men who do nothing. And lastly, don't just stay in theory. Don't be that man who watches video after video, takes notes, but never does anything. Information without action is illusion. You need to act. Today. Now. After this video ends, choose one of the 6 steps and start. Just one. And tomorrow add another. And in a week, you'll already be doing all of them. So, recapping one last time, 6 simple steps to reduce an enlarged prostate. Cut caffeine in the afternoon, add zinc, do pelvic exercises, consume omega-3, reduce stress, and use turmeric. Do this consistently, and you'll see results. And if you want extra help, if you want to know more about men's health, about how to age with energy and autonomy, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I post new content every week, always based on science, always practical, always honest. And leave a comment down below telling me, which of the 6 steps are you going to start today? I read all comments and respond whenever possible. And if this video helped you, share it with someone who needs it. Could be a friend, a brother, a father. You might be changing someone's life. And remember, your enlarged prostate doesn't define you. It's a challenge, but it's a challenge you can overcome. You have the knowledge, you have the tools. Now you just need to take the first step, and I believe in you. I've seen hundreds of men improve, and you can be next. Thank you for watching until the end, and see you in the next video.